G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for another Grim Dawn video. I wanted to make this video to share with you guys I think that deserves a lot more exposure about this game. This game is incredibly super detailed. There's some real depth in the details in this game. Like, mind-blowing. Like, I keep learning new things about this game, and that is often the case with action RPGs, but I'm constantly blown away by the actual depth and the amount of detail that goes into a lot of the different mechanics in this game. And indeed, it's not the sort of thing you're going to notice just looking at the game or even playing through the game once. It's the sort of thing you're going to notice much later on. And indeed, one of these mechanics that I'm going to talk about in this video today, one of the two examples I'll give you guys of this depth, I only first discovered for the first time today. So, let's go kill this boss that I've been working down over here. Now, you'll notice that this boss, when we take a look at him, he's holding a big mallet. Now, you may also notice that I'm holding a big mallet, and these two things are related. But you can see this guy's got a big tree trunk as his weapon just here. So I'm gonna curse him and use my soldier here to wail on him a bit. He did manage to stun me though. I think he's gonna follow up with a big attack there. We can try and dodge his attacks. We'll try and work him down. Uh-oh, stunned by the earthquake attack. So we'll finish this guy off, and I'll show you guys. Just pay attention to the weapon that he's holding. That's the really important part to note here. Oh, I'm taking some serious damage. It's alright. We can get him. We can get him. We're close. We're close. Just need to go berserko on him. There we go. Alright. Okay, here's what I want to show you guys. What did he drop? A troll bone smasher. Let's pick this thing up. This was the weapon he was literally holding. Now, this is a feature that was in Titan Quest and has been expanded upon and is in Grim Dawn as well. Things that creatures hold are actually items in the game. So this guy dropped this Troll Bone Smasher, and indeed I've farmed this boss for Troll Bone Smashers in the past. Now he can actually spawn with a different weapon as well. This is not the only sort of troll weapon that exists in the game, and in fact I've done another kill where I managed to get the Troll Bone Crusher, which I found just here. This is a pretty decent Troll Bone Crusher I got. So one time I saw him spawn with this, giant log with blades sort of hewn into it. So he can actually drop the items that he's actually holding. Now this doesn't just go for bosses either. This goes for all monsters. I was fighting just sort of a random monster, and I noticed that I had suddenly gone out of mana. Now, my energy bar very rarely depletes in this build. I'm not a very energy heavy build. I carry a stick around and smash things with it. Pretty basic stuff. So I don't need much energy. When I went out of energy, I thought, that's weird. Has this guy got some sort of energy draining attack? I've never seen an energy drain attack on these things before. And then when I killed him, he dropped a rare weapon that had energy drain on hit. So he actually was holding that weapon, and that actually made him a challenge to fight. So there's this interesting sort of detail, there's this interesting feature where monsters and bosses and things will hold weapons, and the stats that they roll will make a difference in the difficulty of that fight. If you see a soldier, like an undead soldier carrying a shiny looking sword, then you know this is probably going to be a tough fight. If he's got some pretty fancy looking armor on, probably going to be a tough fight. But if I kill him, I'm going to get that sick loot. And that is an awesome feature and an awesome piece of detail in this game. So I've known about this one for a while, but I sort of discovered more and more this feature, like when I was fighting this guy and I ran out of energy for the first time ever, and I noticed afterwards that he was holding an energy drain weapon. It really sunk in how much of a difference this can make, and how this is something you need to pay attention to in game. And the detail there really got me psyched about the game even more. And every time I go back and play this, I find I'm falling more and more in love with it. But here's the second detail that I noticed today. So I was sort of tinkering with different stats, and there are a lot of stats in this game. You can see that there's very detailed character information panels in here, and there's like a lot of different tooltips for lots of different resistances and things like that. Offensive and defensive ability, I was looking at things like, I just fought this boss, so it gives me my chance to hit them, 100% chance to hit. He's got a 99% chance to hit me, things like that, offensive, defensive ability, how this stuff works. And then I got onto armor rating, and I was discussing with people in the chat, and I learned that armor and damage is actually locational in this game. I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that. So what does this mean? Monsters will sometimes hit you in the head, and if you're not wearing very good head armor, you will take more damage. As you can see over here, I've got my armor rating. This is just like your general, this is your overall look at how your character's going in terms of defensive capability. But if you mouse over the armor rating here, you can see that we have our head armor rating, a chance for our head to be hit, a chance for our shoulders to be hit, chance for our chest to be hit, so on and so on. And then also the armor rating for each of these slots. Now this is based on a combination of bonus armor, so you might have magical items that give you an overall sort of magical armor over your entire body, and then the actual armor for that item. So let's take a look at something with pretty high armor, for example. We have, what's something with my highest armor? Looks like 144. I found these pretty high armor pants earlier. These have 144 armor, and you can see if I mouse over here, that my legs have 215 protection, the most out of any slots on my body. So what's going to happen is monsters will attack you, and they're going to roll like a D, I think it's a D7. 1 head, shoulders, chest, that's 3, arms, legs, feet, 6. So it's a D6. So they'll roll a D6, and it'll determine where they actually hit you. And based on that, then, it goes against your defensive stats. So firstly, whether they actually hit you in that spot. So my legs have a pretty good chance of actually not even being hit, in fact. And then if I do get hit, the armor rating is going to take mitigation off of that damage as well. So if I happen to get hit in the legs pretty often, then I'm going to take more, I'm going to take less damage from legs. Now what this means is if you kind of skimp on the armor in one slot and you're playing like a melee character, you might be able to get some cool fancy stats. Like for example, this chest armor just here is 97 armor, which is pretty low for a chest, really. Now, the reason I'm using this is because it has a lot of good damage stats on it. And, want more DPS. But because it's lighter armor, and for my level, pretty low actual armor class, it means when I do get hit in the chest, it's actually not as defensive as it could be, and I take bigger hits as a result when I do get hit in the chest. So this extra detail, like the fact that this is a thing, and if you're playing a melee character and you want to be tanky, you need to make that all of your armor slots are up to spec, because you don't just have some sort of one magical overall armor thing. You put on, you put on a pair of iron gauntlets and all of a sudden your head's going to take less damage. You actually have to pay attention to the detail in each of these different slots. And there are countless more like instances of this sort of detail, from things like shooting down projectiles. There's actual projectile physics in this game. There's way too many to go over, but I just wanted to give you guys like 2 really defined examples that actually affected my gameplay today, and the ones that I took real notice of today, because I think this is something that the devs haven't done a very good job of showing. I was talking to one of the developers, Madeira, today, and they said that this is something they've noticed that isn't conveyed very well in the game. It's not very intuitive, but it is there, and it deserves to be exposed, because this is a real selling point for a game. For a game like this, it's like something that's completely different to any other action RPG that I've ever seen, and it deserves the exposure. So I wanted to make this quick video just to show you guys some of those features, and that you can expect to see and discover a lot of really interesting and detailed things in Grim Dawn. So check out the links down in the description below if you want to see more about the game, and check out the website and that. It is in beta, and it is sort of a slow development indie process developing, but each time it's patched and added to, this game just gets better and better. So it's got a lot of potential. I think at the very least you guys should keep it in the back of your mind, so that when it does launch you can be like, right, I've heard good things about this game, I should probably check it out. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.